This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Corey Winfield. You have a rich person's name. Like, you should be a billionaire with the name Winfield. Anyway, call me back, bro.
Man, it's blowing up my tax game. I'm trying to slide under that $1 billion mark, you know? How many taxes I have to pay because of that? Damn. It's the 6th of April, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield. This is the 217 Recovery Podcast. And I have a special guest tonight. Put your hands together. Let's welcome Tyrone. Tyrone, what's up?
What's up, Mr. Winfield?
Oh, you know, big things. Doing some things. Finally, man, got you on the podcast. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know if you've ever been on the podcast before. I mean, I know you have, like in and out. Obviously, You're on every time because you're the voice guy. How's that gig going, man? Does that pay well?
No, they don't pay too much there. It don't pay the bills, but it pays for recovery, though. The recovery is good on it.
Helping out other people.
Oh, yeah.
Get your name out there.
And
free gear.
There you go.
Get that free 217 recovery gear. Now, people ask us all the time for that gear. Like, hey, I want it. And I tell them $10. They say, well, I want it free. Never mind. No, people do buy the gear. But no, we're going to start giving away free 217 recovery gear. Yeah, okay. Details on that coming soon. But it's a way to say thanks. You know, people made us their number one podcast and the favorite podcast. We got to be getting up there in a number of shows for recovery podcasts. I'd say we're at least in the top 5 already. We've been going 2 years today.
Whoa.
Marks the 2-year anniversary when I was sitting in the sober living home with a bunch of 20 other dudes. And me and like 5 or 6 of them were like, hey, let's do this thing. And we'll call it this. And this is what we're going to do. And one of the guys kind of called me out. You know, he's like, man, you've been out of treatment now for a few weeks. I thought you'd already had this thing going because the way you talked about it in treatment, you were going to start this podcast and you were going to do it. And I get out and he's telling me you started it, you know. And I said, all right. So then I set a date. And it was the 6th. I was like, you know, it gave me a few days to kind of put some things together. But I knew, hey, man, if I put this stuff on Facebook and put it out there, I have to do it. You know, so we did. And it was probably horrible. Man, it probably wasn't that bad, you know, but still, we didn't really know what we were doing with the podcasting part of it.
But you did it, though. You did it.
I did. So, you're back from your little vacation.
Yeah, don't want no more vacations like that no more.
No, it probably wasn't fun. You're supposed to have fun vacations.
There you go.
You know,
that's about recovery. Recovery is supposed to be fun.
And this is northern Michigan. A lot of people come here to visit and then they leave.
Yeah, right.
You know, and maybe sometimes that's what you got to do, you know.
Yeah.
But you're heading back to the big city. And when's the last time you've been back to Detroit?
Oh, it's been almost a year and a half.
And when you left Detroit, how were things in your life?
Oh, man. It wasn't so good. Struggles.
You remember how that felt, though?
Oh, definitely. Won't never forget the feeling.
No. So even though you went through some struggles here recently, like, it doesn't compare to, like, doing it to yourself every single day.
Wow.
I know there's that story you keep telling me where you're like, man, I walked all this way. I was trying to get some drugs. And I had a little bit of money, but not enough. And
yep. And he wouldn't let me get it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was a long 5-mile walk. Yep, that was a long 5-mile walk. You want to hear the details of it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, this one guy, I called him up on the phone. I told him I had $5. But I only had like $2.60-something. So I figured he'd let me go with the extra little change. I walked about 5 miles and I told him I had $2.60-something. And he dropped my money on the ground. And he left.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that was a bad feeling. Bad feeling there. Bad feeling. But I guess there's some things you go through with a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So so I learned from that mistake, and that mistake won't happen again.
And it was very similar because, I mean, our drug of choice were totally different, but you and I both agree that addiction's addiction. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, like you were around that, and that was something that you took to. And when you were having a great time or a bad time, whatever it was, that got you through it. For me, it was something different. But I can relate, man. I can relate going to, and it took me right back, man. I can remember the look on her face. Even, and I remember what store it was. And I took back bottles. I was taking back bottles. That's all I had. I took every single penny I had, everything. I had nothing left, man. I sold whatever crap ass movies I had at the time. People wouldn't even give me 10 cents for them. I'm like, man, just take it. I need any little bit. So I took back as many bottles as I could find, and I get up in there, and the lady tells me they only take $2 max. And I said, well, I need more, and I'm already shaking. And I think the little half pint I was going to buy was like $2.80 or $2 something. I was like, man.
Short.
I was. And I didn't have no gas really, but I went in and I was still like 70 cents short. It might have been 3 something. But I was about 60, 70 cents short. And I just got there and I looked at her, and the look that she gave me, it wasn't like, it wasn't out of pity. It was out of like, how can you do this to yourself, guy? Like, why? And like, she didn't understand it. Like, she had seen it before, but she didn't understand it, because I wasn't her typical homeless guy coming in here living under the bridge that a lot of people think that, people with a drinking problem are. They think, oh man, you gotta be living on a bridge, homeless to be this kind of, in a way. But no, I mean, if I didn't have help from family, I probably would have been. But like at that point, they weren't helping me, and I just wanted to stop shaking. And I don't know, man. It was tough, but I'll never forget that look she gave me, though. It was just like and she just said, just take it, just take it. It's fine. And like you had a different reaction. Your guy just said, whatever, bro. Yeah. Not going to help you out. Where
right.
But I had that same sense of feeling like, man, I spent so much money in the store.
Ooh,
like you can't cut me a break on the 60 cents here. Like, why are we even having the stare down? Like, why are you even looking at me this way? Why are you judging me? Like
they don't care. They don't care.
Mm-mm.
They don't care. They don't. They probably know what we going through, but they don't care. You can't let everybody go. If you let everybody go, I guess you don't make no money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could you imagine that?
Yeah, everybody's sure.
Then the drug dealer wouldn't be able to afford his house and his car payments. You're buying him nice stuff, man. He doesn't need to half-ass it. He's not Walmart.
All right. Right.
Oh wait, Walmart's doing pretty good too, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. There's something else we were talking about too that it made me kind of realize, like when I was younger. And people, I was drinking. It was fun. It was good times. And I never thought, that it would happen to me. I never thought that I would become somebody with a problem, with an addiction. And I could stop at any time. I'm different. I've heard about different people and think, oh yeah, but that's them. They're just different. I'm different. I'm better. And I would go to treatment, and the first time I still went to treatment, I didn't know any better. I just thought, oh man, at least I'm not doing heroin. At least I'm not doing meth. At least I'm not on crack. Those people, they got real problems. I'm alcohol. Little did I know, mine's probably one of the worst problems.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, I'm better than those people. I'm like, wait, what do you mean better? As in like your drug of choice is probably one of the worst. Like right in your face all the time. Like
all of it's bad.
It is. All of it's bad.
All of it's bad.
But here I am thinking I'm better than these people, which I learned quickly that no, I wasn't.
Sick thinking.
But I was young. It was new to me.
Right.
This whole treatment thing, and I started thinking about that though, like because the whole it's not going to happen to me. I'm better than that. It won't happen to me. I had that same mentality when I started going to treatment. And when I would see people with 2 or 3 years sobriety, it may be longer, whatever, and I would think that can't happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. And that's something that I didn't really think about till the other day, and that's probably a part of it that kept me sick longer. Is because I didn't truly believe that I could do it, and that would lead to I can still drink one day, And, that's not going to happen to me. That guy that's in there, that he couldn't get it right. He has to be here. But me, one day I'll be able to drink again. And then when I would start and try to realize that I can never drink again, it was hard for me to think that I could even go through life without drinking again. Like, why would I want to do that? But I would still see those people and them think, man, like how they got a year clean? That's a long time. Like, how did they not just drink? Like, just on the weekend, how do they not do that? And
it's baffling at first. It's baffling, but it can be done.
Yep, it really can. And you got to change your thinking though.
Yeah.
About a lot of things,
right.
But first you got to believe in yourself, believe that you can do it.
That's right.
And you got to want it.
Got to.
It's a different lifestyle, man. It's a cleaner lifestyle. It's a better lifestyle.
Right. You got to want it. If you don't want it, you won't get it.
Mm-hmm. I had a kid call me the other day, and he told me he hadn't done meth in a while. Okay. I mean, if that's cool, if that's what you want to tell me, that's cool. Like, give me a date. Like a lot of people that have dates,
right?
Mine is December 15th. That's the last day I drank of 2018. I can tell you that, but he just, I haven't used meth in a while.
Oh, he just,
I don't know what that means. Does that mean a couple hours? Does that mean 2 weeks? Does that mean a month? But then he told me, he's like, yeah, man, he was like, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on acid and mushrooms? And I was like, I don't know. They're drugs. What do you mean? Like I used to do them back in the day. I didn't do them all the time. I did them once or twice or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man. He's like, because my friend really wants me off drugs, so they're going to bring me over some acid. And I just laughed. And Miss Marnie walked in at the same time, so she was catching this conversation, and I was just laughing. I was like, bro, I was like, most people don't tell you they want you to be off drugs and then bring you drugs.
That's right.
And he's like, huh? And then I guess they got there, and he's like, all right, man, I got to go. And I just looked at Marnie, and she was just shaking her head, like, good luck, bro. Like
catch 22.
Mm-hmm. And we can sit around and do acid all day. Like, how about we don't do that? How about we do some productive things? How about you hit a meeting?
There you go.
Are you that bored? Like, what's going on? Why do you want to use acid right now? Why do you want to eat some mushrooms? Why are you uncomfortable? And some people, no, I just want to have fun, bro. Yeah. Go build a house, do something, man.
In the long run, it's no fun. It's misery.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And look back at it. I did a lot of stupid things when I was younger.
Well, we all have. We all have.
But it made me who I am today.
Right.
When I talk to people today, when I take people to treatment today, I'm 100% real with them. I'm not BSing them. I'm not trying to tell them, hey, man, you're going to have a mansion one day. No, it's a lot of work.
That's right.
You
have to put work into it.
You saw my list of things that I wanted to accomplish, and I wrote them down.
That's right. Life is a work.
Mm-hmm.
To make things work, you have to work. Nothing comes. You have to put sweat into it. Nothing comes easy. You got to make it. You got to make it happen.
There's this saying on the first radio station I worked at was in Benton Harbor, and back then it was good. This radio station, and on the wall, like they had like a see-through glass thing you could see into the newsroom. But on that glass, it said just a little bit better today than yesterday. Ooh. And I've taken that so many times into consideration about my life and about my job and about my work, just a little bit better today than yesterday. Because you add that up, and I used to think about that when I was sitting in that studio, like, man, there's 365 days. I'm going to be 365 times better than I was right now today. If I'm just a little bit better every single day.
You're doing yourself good.
Yeah. I'm going to be so much better. And how can I get better? How can I get better? And then I would ask my boss, well, what do I need to do? What do I need to work on? How do I work on that better? And I wanted to be the best. I wanted to get out of Benton Harbor. I wanted to go to Chicago. I want to make, top 10 market is what I thought at the time. I should make to market 4, which was pretty cool. But at the same time, then I got there and was like, now what? And I didn't prepare myself for that next step. And it was like, all right, well, I'm going to be in management. And I saw the things that were going on in radio, and I thought, man, I got to make myself an asset. That's when I did the job in Arkansas, and my drinking really, it never stopped, but it took a turn for the worse. You move to a place where you don't know anybody, and I'm away from family. I miss my family, but yet here I am isolating myself in a city, in a town, a state. I don't know anybody.
But sometimes, Corey, you gotta take control.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take control of yourself, because if you don't, the alcohol will control you.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think I took control until I was in the treatment last time. Why? No, I think somebody took control of me.
Oh, okay.
Probation.
Oh, yeah.
Called the justice system.
Yep, they will take control.
Yeah, they did, and
that's why you got to get to control yourself. You know.
Mm-hmm. But a lot, it's hard for a lot of people, and a lot of people have to go the route that I went. I had to be on probation for a year, and that was the accountability that I think I needed, and that was lacking. I had been to treatment 14 times before that on my own. Like, oh, I'm here, and like that makes it better or something. I love it how guys are like, I'm here, I'm not court ordered, and yeah, that's cool. I wasn't either, and that doesn't mean that they're in there faking, but it means that they did come on their own, whether they're
right.
They couldn't take it anymore, their family couldn't take it. Something put them there.
Right.
But it wasn't until I had that accountability factor of, hey, no, shit just got real.
Right.
And it wasn't so much about the jail that scared me. It was about if I drank again.
What happened? And
drove. Because, man, I don't remember, Tyrone. That's a scary feeling, to just... Wow. I just felt like I was on Star Trek, and somebody put me in my car, and this dude's beating on the window, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Wow.
What are you knocking on my window for? And he's like, you're driving. What are you doing driving? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not driving. I'm sitting in my car. And I have no idea what's going on. I don't know why I'm in my car.
Discombobulated.
I don't have my phone, don't have my vape, don't have my cell phone, don't have my wallet. I don't know what, I don't know what's going on. This dude's telling me I was driving. I was like, man, you're crazy. Because I don't drink and drive, like. There was no reason for me to go anywhere. I had a whole half gallon in the house still.
Psych you out.
That's scary. That is scary stuff, man. That is scary stuff.
Extremely scary.
So I think that scared me more than jail. Like, if I drink again, that stuff's going to happen. Like, I didn't plan for that to happen. It just, like, that's scary stuff.
Yeah.
Just like when you do some meth and you take off running naked into the woods, like, what are you doing in the woods? They're chasing me. Like, nobody likes that. Nobody likes hearing them stories. But they happen, and people do crazier things. My friend Courtney, her husband at the time, like, killed their best friend because he thought that he was trying to do something to the kids and just went outside and just killed them right there in the driveway.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, and she said he'd be out in the yard doing army crawls and stuff, saying people were watching them, and that's the stuff people do, and that's supposed to be fun. Huh. That feeling is fun.
It's not fun. Miserable. Miserable.
Alcohol's fun? No.
Miserable.
Not one good thing has ever happened to me because I was drinking.
Miserable. Yep, miserable.
I keep saying this a lot, too, so I'll say it on the podcast. Like, alcohol doesn't make you see through walls. It doesn't make you fly. It does not one thing good for you. It doesn't make you run faster. It doesn't make you do anything, man. It makes you do nothing better. And I used to think, though, when I was on the radio, I thought it would make me better on the radio.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Make you worse. But you think you're doing good.
Yeah.
Psyching you out.
Yeah. And then, like, if I had a few beers that night, and back then a few beers would get me nice and buzzed.
Yeah.
So, I'd leave the station, go home, or go to a party or something, and just like, man, I heard you on the radio, man. You played that one guy, and you made fun of him or whatever, and he was so funny, dude. Ah, man, that's a funny show. Yep. He just justified it for me, man. Yep. Co-signing it, Yep. That did, man. That was good. Yeah, man. I like this. I'll just keep drinking a little bit more, and to the point where I heard myself on the air one day, and it was a commercial I cut, and it was so bad. I was so drunk, and I was so embarrassed. I ran back to the station and redid the commercial as quick as I could, just praying that nobody heard it. Obviously, they did. I heard it. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, I was so embarrassed, man. I was so embarrassed. And from that day on, I was like, I'm never drinking again on the job. And I didn't. And that's what led me to the podcast. It was when I was in treatment last time. A guy I've been at Harvard, Jim, told me, he was like, or Ray, his name was Ray. He told me, he was like, man, just what's it going to take? And I've told this story before too on the podcast, but if you're just now tuning in, welcome. But yes, what's it going to take for you to stop drinking? And I was going to fire back with, well, once I have a kid, and shut up. I don't want to hear it. That's not a question I want you to answer right now, he said. Right. So you go up to treatment, go up there and
take care of yourself.
Yeah, and think about it. Just think about it. Answer it for yourself. So I thought about it the first 2-3 days, man, hard, just laying there, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? And that's when it occurred to me, man. The one thing that I put above drinking, it wasn't my mom, wasn't my relationships, it wasn't my sister, it wasn't my brother, it wasn't my dad, nobody. I put nobody above alcohol. I put nothing above alcohol except my job. I heard myself that time, and I swore I'll never drink it. I didn't. I'd be going to bars and stuff. People would be passing shots over. Hey, man. Nope, not doing it, man.
Right.
I'm at work.
Right.
So that was one thing that I put above it. So, and I already kind of knew I had to have something to do with recovery, but there was no spot for me. I didn't want to be a drug counselor.
Right.
That's not me, man. I can't do that. Like, I'll talk to somebody, but man, in the office all day.
Yeah, that's
just
a lot
not
of work.
me.
Yeah, that wear you out.
It's not the work that scares me, or maybe it is a little bit, but no, it's just not me. And so I just figured, okay, well, what can I do? I'm gonna start a podcast, And there were some other podcasts out there, and there were like doctors, like being real serious with it, like, oh, if you're Abdullah Melgada from put up your butthole, and I don't know if I said that, but they were more like medical, and then the other guys were real. I should probably look for them. I doubt they're even around anymore. But this one dude, I remember, he was just like, it was a YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And he gets on. He's like, "Hey, what up, MFers?" And I'm like, "Whoa, this dude's too raw for me. Like, why is he dropping F-bombs? Like, why did he call me an MFer? Like, does he think that's what people want to hear? I'm in MF in recovery today. I'm like, all right, this dude's too out there. So I was like, all right, guys, we're gonna stick with kind of radio, kind of like we can swear a little bit, whatever, but let's just not go out of our way just to cuss. And that's what this guy was doing. I was like, nah, that's not what we're doing. And it didn't take me. I couldn't listen for very long to many of them. So I was like, all right, I think there's something out there for us. So let's start this podcast, start this company where we can help people in early recovery and become a 501c3 because I keep seeing all these people get this money to help people in recovery. And
you're doing a good job.
Half of them don't do anything. Thank you.
This your second anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many episodes? 400 and...
Yeah, 4...
Yeah, you up there.
80, 460.
You up there.
I mean, let's see. That's a good question. Let's answer that right quick because I keep wondering and thinking. And we got our new app coming soon.
Okay.
I think I told you about that.
Okay.
Let's see. How many episodes? Because, see, I know if you go to, like, Apple and you listen to that, they don't have them all listed. You can only go back so many.
Okay.
Ooh-wee. This will be 454th episode.
Wow. That's a lot of episodes.
It's a couple. It's about 2 years worth, 4 times a week, plus a couple special ones.
That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told you today. I was like, I haven't missed one.
Yep.
There'll be times where we'll come on and we'll throw like a special episode on like Sundays as like a recap.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never not did one. And that was one way to keep me sober. So that's why we started doing the podcast in the first place. And
all right, there you go.
People caught on.
And it's helping, it's getting around. So it's doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing fairly well. But so your next step, man, you're heading back.
Yep.
You're going back to the eye of the storm, or what do you want to call it? Are you nervous? You worried, man? You're not overconfident, are you?
Oh no, I just gotta stick to my plan. Stick to my plan and don't do nothing stupid.
Now, what if those people come around?
No, those people. Ooh, you gotta get away. You got to back up from them.
Have you started thinking about plans? Like, what am I going to do if Ray comes over or...
Well, you always got to have your ejection plan. That's just like saying, you got to have an exit from the fire drill, Mm-hmm. You got to be prepared to know what you're going to do. Because, you can't slip at this here because this is somewhere you can't slip at, You got to be confident. You got to be confident, and also you got to be well aware of things around you. You have to be aware. I figure if you're not aware, that's when things slip in on you there. You got to know your every move you're gonna do.
Okay, so you said that. So you're going over to Ray's house, okay? Ray,
yep.
Ray and them, but he owes you money, so you gotta go over there and get the money or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so you go over there, but Ray. He messes with some drugs. So you're going over there, and you have that in your mind. You're prepared.
Right.
You're probably going to see drugs. But you're just there. You're going to get your money. You're going to go.
That's right.
All right, so you go over there, you get your money, you see the drugs. Hey, don't bother you because you're prepared for it.
Right.
You grab the money and you go.
Because if you touch the drugs, you play the tape back. You know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going and nothing no different what's going to happen to you. It's nothing no different. You already know what's going to happen.
Well, let's say you leave, you're walking home, everything's good. And here comes LaShonda or Shaquita.
Oh,
or I'll go with Rhonda or Sarah. How about we do that?
Oh, boy.
I don't want people to say I'm racist.
That's when you got to get the X-Man ship.
But she walks up or somebody else who you're just like, hey, and you don't even know, like, you don't even know her like that, and she's like, hey, Tyrone, you're back. That's cool. She gives you a hug and you're like, oh, hey, you see this girl at church, like you're thinking, hey, now, what's up?
Oh, you got to put the shield on, your armory.
Oh, hey. All right, but she's like, hey, what's up, Tyrone? Let's go out. And you're like, all right, cool. So you're like, all right, now I got a date. All right, so you're on this date with Rhonda or Sarah or Shaquita or whatever, and you guys are at whatever your favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
And before you guys go in, she's like, oh, hey, Tyrone, look, I'm going to show you something. You're like, yeah, what's up? What are you going to show me? She pulls out a crack pipe.
Ooh.
Or a piece of crack.
It's time to go. It's time to go. You got to tell Shaquita, bye and get going.
All right.
Get going.
But it's those ones that catch you off guard because you can prepare all day long. And then that one situation is going to come up.
That's right. It always do.
And that is when you pause. That is when you think, okay, here's the decision that, Corey was talking about. This is a make or break right here. These situations are make or break because you're uncomfortable. I got a little scared. I start stuttering. I'm working. And then it turned out to not even be what I thought it was. But a guy offered me a drink. I was working at the resort in Petoskey. And this is the last place I thought of somebody, I was just delivering papers. The guy was like, hey, man, will you take this paper over to that people? I'm like, sure. So I take this paper over. Okay. And it was hot out, whatever. But the dude was like, hey, you want a drink?
Oh,
No, I'm working.
Tongue tied.
He's like, all right, man. He's like, I just thought you wanted water. And I was like, that one, it just caught me so like. But I know I turned him down at first, so that was good.
Right.
But that is the moment. I mean, I could have said, yeah, I do.
But you gotta have a good instinct and a good brain. You gotta get away from it.
You gotta condition yourself to no, I don't want to drink. I don't want that. I'll take a water, sure, but with the way he said it, and I believe he had a drink in his hand, so I no.
Want you to join.
It's those times that'll catch you off guard that you just didn't see coming.
Sure will.
And like if I go out to dinner at Applebee's or wherever, not that Applebee's is paying me money or anything. Shout out to Speedway though. What's up?
That's right.
Love Speedway. You should go to Speedway to get your gas. We'll tell you more why soon.
You got to be prompt. You got to be ready.
Mm-hmm. But I'm ready when I go to those places. I'm ready if I go to a friend's house so I know he's drinking. Okay. That's cool. I get it. He drinks. That's what he does. That's fine.
Right.
I don't drink, but it's those moments, man, where they catch you off guard. We don't even see it coming, man. Maybe you look down on the ground. You're about to walk into a bank. You look down on the ground. There's a crack pipe.
Ooh.
Just got to be prepared, man, and make the right decision in those choices. Because
that's the whole key: decision and choices. Mm-hmm. It's the whole rock bottom.
If you need to stop and take 25 seconds before you even answer somebody, then do it.
That's right.
You take all the time. That's the part where you're acting, not reacting.
I agree with you.
So
I agree.
I think you're gonna be fine, man. Get you some money for your voice work one day.
Yep, but I really appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
I really
appreciate you coming by, man, the studio. What do you think about the studio, man?
Oh, man, it's excellent. You got a studio.
What do you think Chris Goss would say?
Oh, man, I think Chris would shave his head over this.
Really?
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. He would really enjoy it. Man.
Yeah, we still use drops. Well, cool, Tyrone, man. Thanks a lot for hanging, and I know you got to get back to Detroit tomorrow.
All right then, Mr. Corey. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And remember, stay focused.
Yeah, stay clean.
Right.
All right, till the next episode, which will be on Thursday. I appreciate you listening, and we have tons of episodes, and we have, like I said, new app coming, new details. Big shout out again to Speedway. Get your guys. Speedway, they support recovery.
All right.
You know who doesn't? Shell.
Oh, my God.
Let me make a list. Marathon. No, not that I don't. But yeah, Speedway definitely does. So big props to Speedway. And next time you're driving by, get your gas there. Go and get a candy bar.
That sounds like a winner.
For sure. But, all right, yeah, thanks again for listening. 217recovery.com is our website. Tons of resources up there for you. Anna's blog. I wrote a blog the other day as well. And, yeah, check out our app, and the new one is coming very, very soon. Thanks for listening, and stay sober.